Well, I neglected this week to set up a scheduled live, so you probably didn't get an email. You probably don't know that I'm live right now. And probably the people that are watching this at this point are ones that are watching the replay. So even though this is Whiskey Wednesday, Whiskey Live, Tom's checking in. By the time you're watching it, it's probably not Whiskey Wednesday, Whiskey Live. It's just a Whiskey Wednesday replay. So I'm Conrad, and this is the Whiskey Wednesday replay. So tonight, we're going to talk politics. The whole show is going to be politics. Just kidding. It's not really going to be politics. Because I don't have a whole heck of a lot planned today, I did get a few people ask about some updates on our single barrels, and I'll take questions from you guys on that. The answer is it's taking way too long. Things are taking way longer than they should. It's really, really frustrating and annoying, but such is the game we play. I do have some topics that I thought I might throw out to you guys. And beyond that, we're gonna taste some new things that I have here. I've got some bottles that are new to me. A couple of them I already tasted, and we're gonna crack open some new ones today. And what's up? What's up, Owen? That a boy. What's going on, brother? Owen's been busy, busy, busy. The legend. Beefy, Sean, Cam, Rick, all the boys. Tap. What's happening? What's happening? I was just talking today to Owen about what we might be able to do for an East Coast rail picking trip. What happened with Dr. Pat? Oh, that's a good question. Let's get into that. That's a great place to start. So, you guys are probably aware, if you're not aware, I'm going to make you aware right now that I did an interview with Dr. Pat Heist from from Wilderness Trail. Super interesting cat. Really great interview. I was going to try and sneak a few of the patrons in, contrary to what the old Wilderness Trail wanted me to do, because I tend to be a pain in the ass. It didn't work. So it didn't work. So what we're going to do is I actually recorded a great interview with Dr. Pat. We went about an hour. The content is fantastic. All the systems worked great. Thanks to you guys for being our guinea pigs for technical issues. What's up, Tyler? Over all of these weeks and weeks, I've been telling you guys that we were going to lead up to doing more interviews and talking to more people live. And Dr. Pat was our first big guest. It went fantastic. It was a great conversation. And we're already lining up some more people to do lives with you guys. It is my goal in 2026 to do a lot more interviews, interview style recordings, podcasts basically, but they're gonna be video format on YouTube, and we're gonna do the audio format on Spotify. For those of you that have said to me that you like to watch or listen to, I like to listen to in the car, podcast format. I think these interviews are gonna be great for podcast format. Listening back to some of the content with Dr. Pat, I could definitely listen to that for an hour. Super interesting guy. I will probably try and get that out to you guys before. I don't think we're going to get struck by an embargo. If you guys are not aware, when we do interviews with people that are set up by PR companies, a lot of times they have subject matters that are on embargo, which means I can't talk about them past a certain date. I don't think we got into any of that, but they're reviewing it for me to see when we can release. It'll probably release in a few weeks, because I want to get a little closer to the end of the year to try and be able to prep to hype up what we're going to do in 2026. Already had a conversation. We are going to. It's early to say, but I'm going to have Donis on at some point. Our relationship with Garrison Brothers, I think that's something we should be able to do, and I'd love to talk to Donis Todd. Just a great dude. I love that guy. Okay, so as I answer you guys' question, I'm going to crack open some stuff. I should interview the guys from Peerless. You know, I don't know if they probably wouldn't want. I thought about that yesterday, about Peerless and what we're going to do with the Peerless relationship. And I think we're probably just going to let that dog lie. What's going on, Mike? Oh, look who found the link. Yeah, you guys. Tim, what's up? You guys, thanks for coming in. I'm sorry I didn't do I'm trying to be good about scheduling this, getting it I'm going to get better in 2026, you guys. There's a lot of things going on. Going to be better about this. We're going to be more consistent. We're going to have regular posted content. There'll be certain types of content posted at certain times of week and all that stuff. We're going to get way more structure on this thing so that you guys don't have to guess what the heck I'm up to. And I get all the questions in the Discord about, are we going to have a live? Because we're always going to have a live. We're always gonna have them scheduled, and I'll give you guys some heads up too on who we're talking to. And I do want to do some of these live interviews live. Probably going to be one of those things where the patrons will get to watch live, and then I will post the content to the public later. So it'll be one of those other neat Patreon perps. If you guys want to put in there, Tim said sipping on Penelope toasted marshmallow tonight. Tap wouldn't even interview him last week. We're talking more about the Peerless thing. Yeah, Slotman, let's go Cowboy. The 2025 Cowboy Bourbon is coming out December 6th, I believe. Coming up. It's 146 and some change proof. They stepped it up this year, and it is wild. Hoop, we getting some, is that Gary? G Hoop? You guys, if you're getting any static or any mic feedback, please let me know. I'll check the levels real quick just to make sure it's not me. I think it would look okay. But it always looks okay. Doesn't mean it's okay. If you guys want to put in there what you are drinking, and then I'm gonna crack into some stuff tonight. So we're gonna start with I've got the old bottle cam back up. We're gonna use the old bottle cam. Here, let me get my let's pop out the chat so I can get you guys on the chat on the screen there. So that's not interfering. And then we're going to deep diving into the Barrel Craft Spirit Triple Rum. Switching to Writer's Tears Japanese Cast. You're doing that backwards, Sean. That Triple Rum is wild. I love that bottle. So here's what we're gonna do. Owen's gonna come back with a fire chugging the 2025 Cowboy Bourbon. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on real quick. So here is what I'm going to sip first. I'm gonna use the old bottle cam. Mrs. Whiskey Bonded may be joining us if she decides to get up off the couch and come deal with my bullshit for a little bit. But she's not gonna be on camera today. She already told me that. No camera today for Mrs. Joanna, are you coming in here or not? You guys put in the chat what you're drinking on. This is actually thanks to Dr. Pat and the people over at Wilderness Trail. I do not have as much experience with Wilderness Trail as I'd like to have, but I did get to taste through their 3 base quote unquote offerings. And I will tell you, I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised at how good their regular 100 proof offerings are. I'm gonna need my cup. They've got a weeded. So if you guys don't know, I'm actually gonna hear stuff. If you don't know Wilderness Trail, their 3 base offerings are a bottled and bond weeded bourbon, a high rye bourbon, and a single barrel rye. I actually found it quite interesting because it's neat to be able to taste the bottled and bond weeded bourbon versus the high rye bourbon because it's the same mash bill, 64% corn, with the 24% either being wheat or rye. So it's interesting to taste those side by side because they're the same proof, the same age, and everything. I guess being around 4 or 5 years old. And then their rye is a 53% rye, which I thought was kind of cool too. To be able to have a 53% rye, I like the ryes that have the rye percentage in that 51, 55, something like that. And then you get more corn in there, and it gives you a really sweet rye, and I really like that a lot. In fact, I have a sweet right here on the table. We're gonna be trying here. So this is a 6-year, 3-month single barrel wheated bourbon at 116.1%. I was really glad. I'll actually tell you something. We got 2 bottles sent to us from Wilderness Trail, one of them being this and the other one being a single barrel high rye bourbon. We lost that one. We had a man down. What's up, Will? Man down in transit. We actually lost one of the bottles. I went over to the UPS center to pick it up. Best smelling package ever. They put it in a big plastic bag, and my garbage can still smells fantastic. So I have the best smelling garbage in my city right now because it smells like a whole ass bottle of barrel proof whiskey, which is a shame. But this is the game we play. You're gonna lose men on the battlefield sometime. But I really like this bottle. I'm still getting a similar tasting note. And I'm not going to tell you every damn tasting note on the thing, but I'm going to give you a sense what it is. This is it has a deep, rich, burnt molasses sugar, a deep, rich, burnt sugar note. And not like toasted sugar note that I really like. Yeah, it's rich. The barrel notes are there, and I think it lends to making it feel aged. It's extremely well distilled. And one of the things that I noticed in tasting the Wilderness Trail with Dr. Pat was that all of their offerings were very approachable and drank with the flavor of the proof without the heat of the proof. His scientific approach is clearly very specific. I do like on the side of this thing, it will tell you the Rickhouse, the barrel, and the yeast strain. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that or not. I thought that was kind of cool. Apparently, this FP1 is their original yeast strain, and I didn't know. But Dr. Pat, and you guys can watch the interview, actually does a lot of work with some of the major distilleries and trying to correct issues that they're having. Just one more bourbon. Devin says, don't eat chips and salsa before sipping whiskey. Everything is spicy. Yes. Yes, that is. Wilderness Trail is made in Kentucky at Wilderness Trail. They have their own distilling facility. If you go out of Louisville down to Bardstown, I can't remember the name of the city. It probably says it in here, but it is outside of Danville. So not Louisville, not Lexington, not Bardstown, Dansville, their own facility there. I'd love to see that. Let's see, cleanse my palate with sweet tea. You can cleanse your palate with anything, really. Anything wet, neutral. We're gonna. Sorry. Real live moment here. So, so short version on the Wilderness Trail wheated bourbon. A lot of deep, rich, sweet notes. Not much spice to it. Obviously, with the mash bill being 64, 24, 12 malted barley. It just is a dominant, deep, rich, toasted sugar, toasted molasses, caramel, that kind of sense to it. A little bit of the sweet bready notes, obviously, that you get on wheat. Really not much grain to it at all. I mean, if I'm really picking at it, no, you're really not. Not much corn grain, which I really like. I don't mind a grain note to whiskey when I'm drinking it. But I want to taste what the grain becomes, not what the grain is personally. So let's switch from that, and I'm gonna crack open. Actually, you know what? Let's go with the open ones first. So next bottle I want to try out, and you guys please throw stuff in the comments there, because I know you guys had some comments about some questions about what was going on with the single barrels and such. Next one I'm gonna drink is the 10-year Sagamore Rye, and I've got a review coming on that. But spoiler alert. Some of you guys said that this was the best rye whiskey of 2025. I went into it trying to kind of test that theory. I don't know if this is the best rye of 2025. I don't know that definitively, but it absolutely could be. I mean, it is an absolutely delicious rye. Aaron Howard from Oregon. What's going on? Middle West Bourbon. We've actually had a lot of conversations about Middle West Bourbon recently, most specifically about doing a single barrel Middle West Bourbon. Because you're gonna see us do a lot of single barrels next year. I'm using this last quarter and all the single barrels that we have in the works right now as a way to try and flush out some of the kinks and the things still that I've got to try and get ironed out, so that we can then just roll next year and do quite a few single barrels. You guys, please understand, you do not have to buy every single bottle that we release. Not that I don't appreciate those of you that try to. You guys, please don't feel obligated to try and buy everything that we release. I'm not trying to run you all into the poorhouse. It would be a cool poorhouse, gives you a lot of whiskey in it, but I'm not trying to get you guys out on the streets with your whiskey. Aaron said, finally got to go to Redwood Empire Distillery. Did not do the tour, but had a great lunch and picked up a Devil's Tower Batch 3. I will tell you, the tour is neat. But if you've been on one distillery tour in Kentucky, this is not that. They don't have the distilling facilities that you would see in a large distillery. So I think if you had to do one or the other, if you had to go and have some food, have a cocktail, or do the tour, I'd do the food and the cocktail all day long, Aaron. Great place. Food is good. Cocktails are great. And you can buy things like the Devil's Tower Batch 3. I actually got the distillery release up here behind me. You can't quite see it. It's right. You can tell because it's kind of bluish. Yeah, Tom, need to start saving up for all the picks next year. So, I sure mouth we're buying them all. So, the SAG 10. You guys, as far as the picks go, I would say in general, what's going on with the picks is they're just pushing back a little bit, because Like I said, I don't want to release one bottle at a time to you guys, so I'm pushing to try and get these dang things in. And it is proving to be an unbelievable pain in the ass. I just it's crazy how difficult it is. In a day where I can order, if I want to order bottles of olive oil, I can have 1,000 of them in my house in less than a week. Like literally. Trying to get a barrel of whiskey from freaking Kentucky to SoCal is insane. What's up, Kanish? There's a name I know. Bundles, bundles, bundles. Yeah, you guys, we make a lot of jokes about bundling, but the reason I'm pressing so hard to try and do it is I'm trying to be sensitive to you guys, because I know some of you guys are going to buy 1 or 2 or 3 of the picks. Well, if you're going to buy 3 picks, I'd rather you pay for shipping once than pay for shipping 3 times. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Otherwise, I can drop that Colombian barrel tomorrow, which is a wild barrel. I hope that people don't overlook that barrel. I really do, because I don't know if a lot of people are going to see that and go, I don't know what a Colombian is, and I'm going to try and message it. It's really hard to get that out sometimes. So that is a good ass rye, I will tell you that. So you guys, the Sagamore 10-year, it could be rye of the year. I think the only thing that would hold it back, it is a sweet leaning rye, which I like a lot. A lot of fruit notes on this rye, which is something that I don't always get on ryes, as much fruit as this. But this has got apples and pears and just a lot of those bright fruit notes, which I like. Yes, Tim, we can do a pick with Sagamore. It's one of the things that we probably will do next year, especially now that they have 10 years, and especially as good as this is. I think if we could pick a single barrel of this 10-year, we could probably fix the one thing that I think is holding this back from being hands down the rye of the year, which is it doesn't quite have the level of complexity that I would like when it comes to the extra complexity of the finish and the spice that comes with the rye a lot of times, if that makes sense. There's a lot of sweet, and there's rye notes, definitely just spot on rye notes. There's some spice in there, but I would like to have rye. A lot of times can come with a complexity of spice that I like. You can get cinnamon and pepper and nutmeg, and there can be barrel char and leather, and this has got some of those things. But I just feel like there could be a little more complexity in that. And I'm totally nitpicking shit. I'm totally nitpicking it. I'm being really, really nitpicky about it, because to drink this rye is delicious. It's really delicious. It would be fantastic for an old fashioned, and I've got to get down to trying that. But it really is a really good, really, really good rye. Yeah, I love the way that they do the Maryland Rise, because it has that grassy, minty, spearminty rye, with some pepper notes to it, right? So what you get out of a rye, but it has got so much fruit to it that I really love it. I like things to lean sweet. If I got to choose, I like things to lean sweet, and they do lean sweet. The Wilderness Trail stuff that we drank with Dr. Pat also leaned sweet, and I really do appreciate that, because it does got a good finish to it. Um, when I'm trying to taste stuff as a taster, as a reviewer, I want it to be incredibly bold and complex, but that is not what I'm reaching for every day. And we talked about it a little bit. I want something that I can sip on, that is just going to make me smile, that's going to taste delicious. Uh, that damn, holy crap. I mean, the Onyx and Amber barrel that we're releasing for Bond and Bottle Shop eventually, one of these days, that's going to be what I'm going to reach for a lot. Even though it's not as good subjectively or objectively as Sagamore 10 is, but it's got those sweet, beautiful bourbon notes that I just want to sip on all the time. Yeah, the Kids Tap Whiskey Sagamore was one you guys all the Kids Tap Whiskey Sagamore. You guys always talk about how fantastic it is. There's still some of those in the shop. That bottle's still available. So if it's so fantastic, why is it still sitting in there? What's wrong with y'all? Double Oak Sagamore, just released in my area, is my go-to for a rye. Goes head to head with Pikesville. Okay, so let's move on from the Sagamore 10. If you don't have the Sagamore 10 and you like rye in general, especially if you like a sweet rye, if you like Sagamore in general, you gotta get the Sagamore. You gotta get the Sagamore 10. Let's turn this off so we can do the reveal of what it is. I'm going to crack a bottle open right now. Some of you guys have this bottle, so the next one I'm gonna crack into. Some of you have this bottle. Can I get it past here without you seeing it on the camera? Oh, what was it? Some of you have the bottle, so I'm going to crack it in a second. That was not very sneaky. If you have the bottle, crack the bottle with me, because it's the first time I've tried this. Yeah, Chip. I got a 20-year Onyx and Amber from Independent Joe that is insanely good. I have a 20-year Onyx and Amber here too somewhere. It is very, very good. Obviously, American light whiskey. What we're getting is a 21 or 36%, I'll announce it, traditional bourbon mash bill, and it's I just love it. I love it. It's just delicious. I picked that one for the shop because we didn't do it to patrons because I didn't have enough distillate. My wife tried it, and one of the boys tried it. I can't remember. I think Devin was here maybe. It's just freaking good. It's just good. What's up, Tap? So here's what I'm going to open on right now. Because I'm going to break into this. I have not had this yet. I'm excited about this. This is an Austin Nichols bottle of the 81 proof Wild Turkey Rye. Some of you guys have this bottle. If you have this bottle, crack into it. I'm going to crack into it right now. We're going to respect the pop while I crack this open. I'm going to be careful, though, because the last old bottle that I popped open the Chicken Cock 150th anniversary, and I tore that cork off like I was mad at it. So I had the 150th anniversary Chicken Cock bottle. It is a difficult to get now release. It is from around 2016 or 2017. I went to crack the cork on that bad boy, and it exploded. So, fortunately, we had other bottles there. So I'm gonna try and wet this. I think this should not be that old, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. 2014. So it's older than the one that I broke. I take back everything I just said. Yeah, if you guys got it, if you want to pop it, I'm excited about this. I love these older turkeys. It's not that old, but the couple-year-old turkeys. They're just kind of my jam with the spiciness to it. The cork is fine. We'll just turn it over and give it a twist, which is what I didn't do like a freaking amateur on that Chicken Cock bottle. While we're doing this, I wanted to bring something up to you guys. I'm going to get your guys' thoughts on this. So I was looking into topics for tonight, and I found something that was talking about flavored whiskey. We're gonna pop this here. Let's see. The Bonded Knife Collection forthcoming. Your lips to God's ear, buddy. I'd love to be there. Here, let's see if there's any pop to this real quick. Here. Oh, clean. Even a turkey that's been sitting closed for quite some time's got a nice little pop to it. We'll pour a little of that and let this breathe. That smells good. Let this breathe for a second. The old Whiskey Bonded Burns Dram tasting glasses. By the way, if you are a patron and you qualified for a free swag item and you opted for the Burns Dram, we're sending those out, but we had to do a reorder. So about half of you guys that wanted them are going to have to wait a couple weeks as they come in. So just hang with us. They're free for you patrons that qualified for them. So I don't want to hear no complaints about having to wait. We reordered them. We're just waiting for them to come in. We sold out of, I don't know, 96 cases of those freaking things. You guys' responses have been amazing. I'm glad you guys like them. I was a little bit worried. Cheers to that. That the glasses are so small, but they're so good for tasting multiple things. It's really been a positive thing. I'm glad you guys like them. Oh, you heard it here first. I will sound an announcement, but we are also doing regular Glens this time too. So we will have regular Whiskey Bonded Glens. You heard it first. Here, that's why you do the live. That's why you attend the live, because you get to hear about things first here. So we're gonna have Glens. You can thank TJ over at Brewsville for talking me into that. He made the comment that Glens are people like to collect Glens, and that pushed me over. What I was going to say. So I saw an article today that said that flavored whiskey is projected to grow by 35% to 2030. I thought that was a very interesting statistic. Apparently, it's being driven by younger drinkers. And they're specifically referring to flavoring, but also cask experimentations like rum, port, stout, maple syrup, such. So I know that some of us are going to groan on that. I don't mind the finishing flavoring. I don't even mind some of the flavored stuff if it's done well. I'd rather not, but if it brings new people into the whiskey enthusiasm community via a little dabble in the toe by trying something that's heavily rum finished or slightly flavored, maybe it's a good thing. You know, we want the whiskey community to stay strong so that the companies will keep making all these amazing things and releasing them. Because if the whiskey enthusiasm and whiskey sales continue to drop, which they have dropped fairly significantly since COVID, it might not be a good thing for us. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of good things come of it, but there'll be a lot of bad things come of it too if whiskey sales drop too much. I voted for Wee Glens. Yeah. Well, listen, Sean, we're going to continue to do the Wee Burton's Drams for now from Glencairn and regular size Glencairns. We'll see. If those all sell out too, maybe we'll go to a Wee Glen. I have talked to the guy over at Bottle to Bond about doing some Wee Glens and the Bottle to Bond Wee Glens for Whiskey Bonded. I think that'd be kind of cool. Oh, Uncle Larry says it gets them into whiskey like flavored cigars. Eventually they will come over to the good stuff. See, that's kind of what I think. Time to be a flavored whiskey influencer. As far as we're going to go with that, Colby, is I'm going to continue to try out some of the flavored whiskey stuff. Just partially for fun, but partially I also find it fascinating because there are some that are total garbage and there are some that aren't that bad. And maybe if I get drinking enough here and we don't run out of time, because we're going to stick these things to an hour. I do have over there, I have from Dovetail Distillery, after I did the apple cinnamon fireball, he said, bro, let me send you mine. It's better. And I still got to sit over there. Maybe I'll crack that out to close this out because he says it's really good, but it's clear. So it's got me a little bit nervous. Now, keeping in mind, that's wild. Keeping in mind, this is a base ass 81 proof Wild Turkey. I do not own a bottle of Wild Turkey under 101 proof. I don't mess around with it. I think Wild Turkey should be at least 101 proof, and it really starts to shine when you get into the teens. You know, a la Rare Breed. This isn't bad. That's not bad. I tell you what, that absolute clowns, and I don't see BSK in here, so I won't worry about saying this. But like my Crow 86 proof, this clowns that. The Crow 86 is freaking terrible by comparison. Where's my bottle of Crow? Uh-oh. It's never good when you lose track of your bottle of Crow 86. It could be anywhere. It's like losing a ferret in your house. It's just not a good idea. Colby committed to a Maker's pick. Colby, you better knock that off. What are we going to do with 280 bottles of Makers? You know, what's interesting, it's thin by comparison, but it does not drink as young as I thought it would drink. It actually, it doesn't have the level of spice that I'm used to from Wild Turkey. Tom nailed it. 81 has a light caramel flavor. Yeah, light caramel, light spice, little bit of kind of that cinnamon pepper that you get from the spicy end of Wild Turkey. The finish on it is actually better than I thought it would be. It's actually got a decent finish. Not astringent, and not as thin as I would expect it. 81 proof is just about base. That's actually not bad. That might be the best total base whiskey that I've had. Interesting. You know what bottles of this remind me of? Though. This is. I love this. Don't get me wrong. I love this old turkey. But bottles like this and bottles like Crow 86 and like basic Jim Beam White Label and stuff like that remind me how good regular ass Buffalo Trace is. I mean, regular ass Buffalo Trace at 90 proof and around here about $20, $22, $23 is an awfully good bottle of cheap whiskey. A fluffer mud. You guys, is definitely light, has a little minerality, but tastes like Wild Turkey. It does taste like Wild Turkey light. It's like diet Wild Turkey. Let's put it that way. Not bad. That is not bad. I know that Michael is probably trying this and is going to take a really long time because he takes a really long time in making his tasting notes. Oh yeah, Boot Campaign 2014 Military Edition. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have opened that. Oh well. Good. That is good. Let's move on to the next one. You remind me. They remind me, especially Crow, of sneaking whiskey before high school out of my parents' liquor cabinet. Yeah, the unfortunately a lot of the base whiskeys, the Benchmark 8 and the Crow 86, and they're just not good. They're not bad, but they're just not good, especially if you are a whiskey drinker. Because if you're a whiskey drinker, the problem is they just leave a lot to be desired. So let's move that to the side. Let's move that over there. So we did the Wilderness Trail. We did the Sagamore Rye. I want to go to this one because I want to know. I want to do this next because I want to know what you guys think of this. This is something that's popped up on my radar lately because they reached out to us. But the Bib and Tucker stuff. What do you guys think about the Bib and Tucker? This is actually the 6-year. I did the review on the Gold Roast, which is the coffee. Coffee not infused so much. They let the coffee steep into the whiskey. Way better than I thought it was going to be. What's up, Eric Waite? Oh, from Half Moon Bay, California. Last time I was out in Half Moon Bay, I had really good luck grabbing a couple of Michter's Barrel Proof Ryes. Michael, it's fine if you watch the stream in the shower. Just don't turn your camera on, please. Ain't nobody want to see that. Well, I wouldn't say nobody wants to see that, but in generally, I'd say that nobody wants to see that. Bib and Tucker, not a fan. So that's why. I'm a fan. Interesting. I never had a Bib and Tucker. So I have had very little experience with Bib and Tucker. So you guys are going to see a real, honest reaction here of Bib and Tucker because this is the 6-year double charred bourbon. Right? Sounds promising. It's an 88 proof. No notes on mash bill. I did not look it up because I just grabbed a few bottles to do here. It says aged for 6 years, New American Oak, then finished in a second heavily charred barrel, giving this bourbon savory, smoky notes and an exceptionally smooth finish. I will be the judge of that because it's my job. Kind of. That's some BSK type shit. So, yeah, it's funny, you guys. It's funny. I never really got into Bib and Tucker either, and I don't know why. Something about the cork. Something about the bare cork on the top without a topper on it. Come on, focus you some bitch. The bare cork on the top. I don't know what it is, but here we go. We're gonna crack this real quick. Eric Waite is drinking Balcones Cataleja, Texas single malt whiskey. You know, Eric, not a lot of big Balcones fans around anymore. There are some for sure. Am I gonna come to Texas for the Cowboy release? Probably not this year. I was just talking about that. Next year, I'm going to get down to more of those. I really do want to. How the hell do you guys pull the corks out of these things? See, I was right in being skeptical of this cork. It's hard to pop it. Okay. Think wine cork, man. Think wine cork. Where's my wine opener? Here. Okay, ready? We're going to try and do it. Like the 10-year better than the 6-year. Well, yeah. Here we go. Respect the pop here. See if you guys hear it. Okay. Solid. Give you a look at that cork. Let's get it here. Let me get it to focus on. The cork actually looks like a regular cork with a funny top on it. Like it looks like it's formed rather than a wine cork that's just shoved in there. This looks like it's actually shaped that way, which is good. I do like the kind of flask shape of a bottle. There are a lot of other manufacturers or producers that do that. I do like that. The embossed glasses or the textured glass is kind of cool. So we're gonna try Old Elk corks suck. Agreed. I've had mixed luck with those and the Redemption. The other one that has a bottle shape like this, the Redemption corks have been a freaking nightmare. Tilt the bottle to wet the cork and then pull. Do not twist. Well, yeah, if you want to pop, you gotta pull it. But I yanked one in half recently. Balcones when I want to drink a distilled catcher's mitt. You see, Balcones is really polarizing. Paul, what's going on, Whiskey Johnson? Okay. So, good. Nothing is blowing my hair back, but it's a 6-year-old. Yeah, Eric, the corks tend to break more when you twist rather than pull. I find that if I'm worried about it, I'll wet the cork, let it wet, kind of wiggle it a little bit to make sure that it's not sticking to the sides, and then pull it straight out. That chicken cock that I destroyed, I literally pulled it straight, and the cork just was a mess. I did manage to get it out of there without getting any of the whiskey, which is a freaking small miracle, because I tried to use a cork puller, and it didn't work, and it was just a mess. It was just a mess. Definitely getting some of that. That's interesting because smoky, savory. It's a little savory. There's definitely some sweet bourbon notes in there, as you would expect from the vanillin out of the barrel. But smoky, maybe slightly. It's funny when you describe something as smoky, I automatically think peat smoky. Okay, slight smokiness, not in the sense of peat smoke, but like barrel charge smokiness. That actually is not bad. I don't know how much that bottle is. If someone wants to Google that real quick, I'm gonna Google while I got you guys on the live. But where's TJ tonight? I haven't seen TJ tonight. It was quite the surprise to have him. That's a busy man right there, y'all. I don't think we're gonna see him pop in too often. I am giving some serious thought to changing the night on the live, by the way, next year. I have a Durand white wine cork puller. It's designed for older corks and port bottles. That would actually probably work great. We don't need no stinking Bruzel. Is Sean, you better take that back. That's the king. That's the king of the castle right now. TJ is a good dude. I have had that in my bad bourbon corner. HDNM1IV first. That is a rough screen name, brother, for me to try and say. But this is not bad. It's not bad. Okay, so $47.99 at Total Wine. That feels about right. The only problem with this is it's actually not bad, you guys. I really kind of expected it. No offense to the Bib and Tucker. My bar of expectation was low just because I don't have a lot of experience with Bib and Tucker. They are sending me 2 other bottles that are supposed to be next level from this. I can see how Bib and Tucker stuff might get pretty good as it's older or a little more mature. Yeah, see, Slotman just said there are better Bib and Tucker expressions out there. I believe that. See, so, that's better than that old Turkey 81. I drink that Bib and Tucker's better than that old Turkey 81. So how's that for a freaking bold statement? Is it worth a try? Here's the thing about this. It's good. It's good. I'm not mad at this. If I paid $47 for this, I would not be mad at that. The problem with it is if you're going to go out and spend $50, you got to ask the question, what else is there to spend $50 on? That's the biggest issue. And that's the thing I always run into, you guys, when I'm talking about, when somebody asks me, should I buy it? Or Tim said, is it worth a try? All whiskey's worth a try. All whiskey's worth a try. But for $50, there's a lot of bottles. There's a lot of bottles for $50. I mean, you know what your biggest problem with this bottle is? You can get Wild Turkey Rare Breed for about $50. That's the biggest problem with this bottle. And nowadays, we're seeing more and more bottles with 6, 7, 8 year age statements that are not, I mean, Russell's 10. I'm not a giant fan of Russell's 10, but it's a 10-year age stated Wild Turkey product for less than $50. That's the challenge with these. Yeah, in fact, I would say, and I don't know what the mash on this is, but it tastes like a pretty standard mash. But maybe one of you guys can look it up. But I would say that the Wilderness Trails that I tried are better. Yeah, that's the problem. A very cool bottle. Very cool bottle. Beautiful bottle. Good whiskey. I actually like it. I think it's worth $47. You just have to ask yourself, what else would you buy for $47? If you've never had a Bib and Tucker, I do believe when Cam said that there are better Bib and Tuckers, I believe that. But if you've never had a Bib and Tucker, this would not be a bad place to start. It's not a ton of money. It's actually pretty tasty. And I think that's going to open up. I think it's going to open up pretty nicely, actually. I think the more I sip on that, the more I like it. Very, very, it is exactly what you expect from a double char bourbon. In fact, I would say that drinks exactly like you would expect it to. It's actually pretty freaking good. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And I want to, it's pretty interesting that some of the topics that I come up here was balancing innovation and integrity. Transparent labels earn respect. Brands that chase TikTok trends are fading. And authenticity and curiosity is the magic mix. I think that's a pretty freaking good statement made by the old Chat GPT there. Here's the next one we're going to do here. This is a Fiddler toasted straight rye whiskey from ASW. It is a 58%, so 116 and some change proof, 7 years, 11 months, 2 years finished. This should be good. I don't know if you guys have much experience with ASW. The only other Fiddler I've had, I'm gonna crack this right now, was pretty good. I've got a review that I don't know if I post. I don't know if I posted. I don't think I posted it yet. Tennessee Whiskey of the Year. What's the Tennessee Whiskey of the Year? It's gonna be that damn Jack Daniel's Tenured Hill bet. I mean, unless you don't count that because it's a rye. But damn. That's getting a lot of hype. It's going to be delicious. Oh, here, I'll tell you what. I'll make you guys another announcement. I am talking to the people over at Jack Daniels about doing a Jack Daniels barrel pick. It looks like we're going to be able to make that happen. We're going to go barrel proof, and we are going to try drastically to do a rye. I don't know how you guys feel. Would you guys rather have a Jack Daniel's barrel proof bourbon or a Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye pick? You guys call it in the chat. Call it in the chat right now. I'm gonna pop this ASW. We're gonna respect the pop again. But look at all this pop, respect of the pop we're doing here. Where the hell's Kenny? He's gonna have to watch this back. Not bad. Some solid cork pops today. Bundles. Either, both, or bangers. Come on, you guys got to pick. Rye, both. No saying both. Cam, pick one. Pick one. Rye by far. In for the JD tenured rye barrel pick. Any chance? Yeah. Well, we may be able to find ourselves a rye, barrel proof rye with a nice proof to it. But I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the odds of that are. But at this point, I'm just trying to see if I can get us a Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to do that. But that's the direction I'm leaning. I'm glad you guys are saying rye, if only one. Whiskey. Let's go, Brandon, saying whiskey. Look, I would not be mad at either. We have had the first single barrel that we sent out to patrons ever was a Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye, and that I helped with. It was fantastic. I asked ChatGPT what bourbons to buy. It suggested the following in order. Throw it out there, Tim. The JD Rye is better than the bourbon at high proof. I really like the Jack Daniel's barrel proof bourbons, but I would say in general that is a true statement. The Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye is incredible. It's won in blinds for me on more than one occasion. Fantastic barrel proof rye for sure. Ooh, that's got a nice nose to it. Whiskey Bond, geographically, where are you located? We are outside of Sacramento in Roseville, so not far from you. Ooh, okay, that one needs to breathe a little bit. A little ethanol on that. That would make it harder to pick up. Sometimes you gotta let it breathe a little bit because of the higher alcohol content. At 116.8 Obviously, an 80 or 90 proofer, you really don't have to let them rest. But I do find that, and you guys probably agree, I do find that when the proof gets higher, you need to let it rest a little bit to let the ethanol come off of it so that it's not messing with the nosing. Oh, you used to live in Roseville. It's a nice area. I like Roseville. Probably JD Ribe wouldn't be mad at either. That's kind of how I feel about it. Toasted fell flat for me, but maybe I expected too much at 100 proof. This is a distillery selection, brother. It's a 7, almost 8-year-old, 106.8 proof. So they sent me. See, I find it pretty interesting when brands send us stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to read your comments and talk at the same time. When brands send us stuff, whether they decide to send the basic offerings to give us an idea of what their basic offerings are, or they try to send something special like ASW did. These are limited, obviously limited as distillery pick, to kind of show off what they can do. I like when what Wilderness Trail did. Wilderness Trail actually sent us small bottles of their 3 base offerings and then a barrel proof weeded single barrel to kind of say, here's what, because I want to see, if I'm checking out a distillery, I want to see what is the everyday product that you release at a standard proof point, right? Because frankly, you guys, if I take 100 barrels and put it in a warehouse, I can release some badass single barrels. It's not as tricky as being able to release a regular, reasonably priced, reasonably proofed, everyday bottle that's really delicious. I think that's a little harder to do. Oh, Chris, I'm trying to move from downtown Sac to Roseville. Do it. Roseville's dope. Ooh, that's got some nice sweetness to it. Yeah, Chip, if we could do a rye and a bourbon, that would be pretty badass. But I don't want to, I don't want to ask you guys for too much. And I don't know if we're going to press it that far on our first run. Who knows? I tend to over ask sometimes for sure. Ooh. That's got some rye kick to it. That's got those grassy rye spices. Ooh, gotta step away from the mic for a minute. That's pretty good. Okay. Colby, didn't you do a Jack Daniel's bourbon? Or Tennessee whiskey? Ooh. Okay, so, wow. That is a bright, bold rye. A lot of rye spice on that. I don't have the mash bill on this either. If one of you guys want to look it up and put it in the chat. That's gonna be a pretty high rye, I think. I think that might even be a 95.5. I'm not sure where they get this from, if they distill it themselves. It says ASW Distillery, so they probably distill it themselves. 7-year aged in Georgia. You can tell it's got that Georgia heat to it. There's some spice to it. But it does have some sweet. It does have some nice sweet notes too. Nice sweet notes to that. Whew. That's well, it's hard to talk sometimes when you get one of those proofier ryes. It sucks all the sound out of your mouth. That's delicious. Somebody please tell me that that's not a very expensive bottle. If that bottle's under $80, that's something I definitely buy, especially if you're a rye lover. That's a rye drinker's rye. It starts with the rye pops, rye spices and mintiness, some kind of white pepper notes, and then goes into like the rich sweet caramel and vanilla notes that are probably coming from that. $65 anywhere around me. Yeah, that's a $60. Okay. Wow. Even at the single barrel higher proof, that's only a 60 or 65. If that's a $65 bottle, that's a hell of a value. That'd be a delicious $65 bottle. Because somebody mentioned something about the proof being lower on it, so I wasn't sure if there's a version of this that's lower. Yeah, Kevin. Wow. Do I know Eli at Bourbon Wine and Spirits? If so, next time you see him, tell him Eric Waite said hi. I do. In fact, I have the last thing I have here, unless we drink the crazy apple cinnamon thing, is actually a sample of a current single barrel from Eli that I was. It's very curious. You guys want to hear about this because it's something that's unusual. I'm just going to try that. I've already tried a little of it, and it was definitely out of the box. So I wanted to try that for you guys too here tonight before we wrap up. Can't Okay, so officially, man. Yeah, so somebody said comparable to a Sagamore Double Oak. What's up, Jack? I'd say this has a little less of the Maryland bright fruit notes. They're a little richer, deeper. More of the like plum type fruit notes. The proof differs, but they're all double oaked 95.5. Okay, that makes sense. Because it definitely drinks high rye. Wow. I like that though. For a 95.5. You guys, please, Ken brings up a good point. Please hit the thumbs up, you guys. If you have an opportunity to share this, make some comments, hit the hearts and likes and heart eyes and So final judgment. That's a good bottle for 65 bucks. But caveat to that being, do you like a 95.5 rye? Because it definitely drinks like a... So, you can do a 95.5 rye, an MGP rye, 95.5 rye. If you don't do anything to it, it has a certain feel to it. They're very rye forward. They can be grassy or minty. They've got that pepper note to them. I think it's pretty consistent. Sorry, the proof on that's making me breathe back in through my nose. It takes those notes and it leads with those notes and then closes out with the char, double toasted, sweet vanilla, caramel notes, barrel influence, like sweet barrel influences. Nice long finish. The double charring makes the finish not drying. It's not bad. That is not bad. If you just told me that was a $120 bottle, I'd say no. But at $65, that's definitely a yes. Definitely a yes. Okay, so yikes, I gotta rinse my glass out a little bit here. We're running close to the hour mark, so I want to get into this. Eli, and I don't have a cool bottle, so we're not gonna put it on a bottle camera. Eli right now has a Woodford double oaked single barrel, and I know those are rare. I've not seen one of those around very often. I haven't seen one in a long time. I think I saw one when we were in Kentucky. I think it was in Kentucky that we saw it, or maybe it was in Vegas. Tom, I don't know if you guys remember that we saw it in Vegas or not. But I have not seen one around here. I don't think maybe ever, but certainly not in a long time. It is mad different. And I'm gonna try and pin it down. When I tried it at Eli's place, I couldn't pin down what the note was that was really jumping out to me. I'm gonna see if I can do it now. What's up, Pete? Yeah, but Pete, you gotta remind everybody where you're from. You're not from here. Do you plan on getting the Wild Turkey 12 back in the shop? Yes. Yeah, Brandon, it'll be back. It will be back in the shop. We will reorder that. We have a good source for those, but they sell out. They sell out pretty quick. Even at that price, which I'm trying to get the price down on it, but it's hard because those are Japanese release bottles, so it's not easy to get those for cheap. We try to keep it down. We're also trying to, for those of you that asked about the Old Cassidy, I'm also working on the Old Cassidy. Ah, God. So this has a sweet, like a candy note. Almost like a saltwater taffy candy. Man. Whidbey Island Distillery has some great stuff out of Washington State. Tim, my mom actually used to work on Whidbey Island for a long time. I wouldn't mind going up there and seeing that. How much for the Old Cassidy? I don't know yet, Knish. We're working on it, brother. I'm working on it. I talked to Pete today. I talked to our retail partners, and we're working on it. I have not met Matt at Barrel Shop in Lafayette. Yeah, I'm gonna say Laffy Taffy. It's got like this like saltwater taffy, like pulled taffy sweetness to it. It's pretty interesting. I'd say the nose. Well, Eli definitely likes to pick them sweet. It's got another weird note at the end. What is that? Like a maple syrup. Oh man. Yeah, definitely like a maple syrup, like a really rich maple syrup note at the end. I've got a bottle of Vermont maple syrup that actually Pete got me. The end of this finishes with maple syrup. This is super interesting. Boy, talk about a lot of sweet notes. So Tim, that is so different. It's just like it's like Laffy Taffy. I don't know, Laffy Taffy, like saltwater taffy. Let's call it saltwater taffy. It's saltwater taffy, whiskey, maple syrup. Wow. No, it's not like Havana. It's not like Havana because it doesn't have the rum fruit notes to it. There's not that beautiful bright rum fruit. I like the Penelope. My wife loves the Havana P Penelope. She'd be drinking the crap out of that. This is Eli. So Bourbon Wine and Spirits in Roseville, California. Eli owns that shop. They have these. You can buy them online if you are in California because you can't ship outside of California. It is a Woodford double oaked single barrel. I can't tell you what the price is on it because I don't know. He just gave me a sample of it, but wow. Um, that is not something that I would reach for all the time, but I wish I could give you guys each a sample of this because it is so unique. I've never drank anything like that. And that's a lot. That's a lot to say. It's a lot to say. Wow. That is so different. Like in a good way. I'm always thrown off a little bit when I try a whiskey that is completely different than what I expected. And even in this instance, if I was trying to judge this as a good bourbon, like we're going to do a lineup, we're going to do bourbons, we're going to pick the best bourbon. This is not going to win. But I love it because it's so unique and so different. It's like it's kind of blowing my mind a little bit because the flavor notes in this are coming in a combination in an order that I've not had. I've not had. Um, well, leave it to Eli. Wow, leave it to Eli to come up with something that I have not tasted, because that's a lot to say. And Eli does come up with some good picks. His picks sometimes are fantastic. I never really hesitate. He is really good at picking Old Forester picks. Okay, one last thing because we are here right at an hour. I told you about it. I'm gonna try it right now because I'm super intrigued and it just came up. Yeah, Kitsap Colby's repping the Bonnet Bottle Shop. Yes, BonnetBottleShop.com is our liquor store. You can't get all of this stuff there. I'm really bad about telling you about stuff that I don't have. But listen, I got to play both hats, you guys. I got to pay. I got to play the make bourbon cheap again. Get it out to the people with the BonnetBottleShop.com. But we also got to do the review thing. I also got to tell you what these things are like. I'm a professional whiskey reviewer at this point. I think that's safe to say, which is weird. Cool ass job title. I will tell you that. I'm not mad about that. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen BonnetBottleShop.com, please check that out. Don't be silly. I just added a whole bunch of stuff there today. I added a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of tricky stuff. Russell single barrel, Russell's Rye single barrel. We are one of the only places that you can get Lazy K-Bar out of Montana in a lot of states. And you guys, we're back to shipping to 49 states. Can we take a minute for that? Can everybody hit the old hearts, the old thumbs up on that? We got South Dakota back. We got Tennessee back. We got, what was the other one? Michigan. We got Michigan back. The only state I can't ship to is Utah. That's it now. That's it. I don't know. The Mormons are giving me a hard time. No offense to Mormons. I like them, but they don't like the old alcohols as much as some of us do. But we're back. We're back. Listen, I know everybody wants to say stupid Utah. I feel bad for the people in Utah. That stinks. That stinks. Oh, can I tell you guys though? Oh, I do want to tell you one more thing. Hold on. So, you guys heard me. I think I did. It was like, you guys are aware of the Hardin's Creek Warehouse series, right? I got a little video coming for the Hardin's Creek Warehouse series. A little long form, a little new something I got for you guys. New video format. But if you are not a patron, I was able to secure. I'm gonna tell you this real quick, and then we're gonna try this last bottle because I'm out of my freaking mind today. But you gotta see the bottle; it's beautiful, not in the way that you think. I was able to get my hands on 2 complete sets of the Warehouse series Harden Creek from the old Jim Beam. These are 11 years old. They're 110 proof. There are 3 of them. And I got 6 bottles total. So we are going to, shipping to Michigan. How you like that? How you like that? Yeah, the ADHD does kick in, y'all. I'm sorry. But I got to tell you these things. I'm excited, so I'm going to share it with you. Y'all are my people. We are going to raffle draw. So like a opportunity to purchase 6 bottles. You guys spoke. I put it in a survey on the Patreon. You guys spoke, and you guys wanted, instead of doing one whole set to 2 people, we're just going to do the 6 bottles. So we're going to raffle off the 6 bottles. It's an opportunity to buy a raffle. I ain't giving these damn things away. They're expensive. But it will be at SRP, maybe even a little less. Because, I'll be trying to make bourbon cheap again. It's not going to be a lot less because these do have a pretty good price point to them, but we're going to try and go a little bit. We're going to try and go a little bit less on those. So, GSO lost my bottle of Detling from BBS. They suck. Hey, Gordon, if you're the one that emailed me, I got you, brother. Just we got to wait for the team to get back to us. But one of the things that I started to do, you guys talk about learning experiences. I have been learning a lot from this thing, and one of the things that I learned is to reserve a few bottles when we do drops, in case the old GSO decides to try and stick it to you. So unlike some of the drops we did in the past, like the old Dom Weeder, we like to call it shrimp bottle. I actually have can replace that lost bottle if it is in fact lost, sir. So worry not, your boys got you. Okay, so I want to try. We're gonna pop this. I don't want you to see what it is yet because it's clear liquor. But my guy up at Dovetail Distillery has been very, very cool. I like him a lot. He does make some good stuff. The man is outside the box with like oat whiskey and stuff. He's not afraid to say screw your convention. And I'll show you the label here in a minute. The man has a certain kind of fetish. Let's respect the pop even on the clear alcohols. And this is what we're gonna close with. Ready? Them clear alcohol pops just aren't the same. It hadn't been in the bottle that long. Okay, so I'm gonna pour a little of this. So here's the story of this, and then I'll show you the label because that's why I like this dude. This dude's a man's man. He don't play around. So here, let me show you the label on this. It literally is called the Betty. Yep. What was that? What was the Encino Man? Nugs. Yeah, he put the young lady. It's obviously a cartoon. He put the young lady in. It's very scantily clad and called it Betty. Okay. So what this is spirits distilled from grain with natural flavors, spiced apple pie. Okay, here's the reason I'm doing this because y'all are like, oh, what are you thinking about, man? When I did the Fireball cinnamon apple, he immediately reached out to me and said, dude, stop drinking that crap. Let me send you mine. It's way better. Now, I believe him because I've had a couple of things from Dovetail. It's out of Nevada. And yeah, what the hell are we drinking? I gotta try it, you guys. I gotta try it, okay? He sent me some stuff, and he has some cast strength oat whiskey. I think I had one sitting up here. I moved this shit around so much I lose track of things. Moving on. And I've actually really liked some of his stuff. It's very different, very outside of the box, but he actually does a really good job. And I think he's doing a good job with good, clean distilling. So even this stuff that's clear as a freaking bell. Let's try it. I've not tried this at all. I'm cracking it open. The only question is it better than Fireball Apple? Low bar. Oop, smells more like alcohol. I don't know. You know, it does say with natural flavors. They can't be super unnatural. That's so clear. I don't know what you could put in something and not get any color to it. Way better than Fireball Apple. Woohoo. Wow, okay. Okay, first of all, way better than Fireball Apple. It's like, wow, okay. The cinnamon is way more natural cinnamon than Fireball. It's not nearly as sweet. It does taste like apple pie. But it's funny because it tastes like apple pie, but it's not sweet. Okay. All right, man. Look, respect. This is also 100 proof, as opposed to the piddly 70 that Fireball is. The only danger of this is do not let your wife catch you staring at that label for too long. That's actually pretty good. I'm trying to think of what I could do with this. So the nose is there's definitely some alcohol, grain alcohol, but apple and slight cinnamon. It does smell a little like pie crust. No, it's not ugly Betty Kim. But the palate comes with way more cinnamon, and the apple is subtle, and then it kind of molds into this like apple pie crust. He nailed it as far as like apple cinnamon pie. On some ice. Listen, way better than Fireball apple. I will give you that. Yeah, battery acid's better than Fireball. Well, listen, I don't really mind the Fireball Dragon Reserve, the barrel aged Fireball. It's all right. It's just really sweet. The Fireball apple's garbage. It doesn't taste like apples. And for somehow when they added the apple, it doesn't taste that much like cinnamon anymore. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. It's like take the thing that people buy the crap out of and let's add something to it that makes it worse. I don't get it. If you're gonna drink an apple cinnamon alcohol, check out Dovetail Distillery. Okay, guys, listen. It's now 7:30 ish and some change. You guys, thank you so much for coming by, especially when I just wanged this as I generally do, and you guys showed up. That means something to me. If you guys have any other additional questions, want to throw anything else out in there? Otherwise, go check out bottlebottleshop.com. All things whiskey bonded on whiskeybonded.com. If you want to get the inside track on the single barrel drops, because you guys, here's the deal with the single barrels. Some of our single barrels will make it to the public. But as the Patreon grows, we're up to almost 1,000 people now. As the Patreon grows, it's going to be less likely that the barrels are going to make it past the Patreon until such time as we drop more barrels. And then they will go back to getting outside the Patreon. The really good stuff, the stuff that we're getting that is really unusual. You guys like the rare character bottles that we got that you guys are super excited about, that I'm excited about. They're not going to make it past the Patreon. There's stuff that's not going to make it past the Patreon. What's up, Jack? I feel kind of invincible. I thought that said invisible for a second. I was going to feel bad. I feel really bad. We need to do some more Patreon exclusive flights or blind flights. So you guys, we're going to do more of that stuff. You guys, I'm going to focus, please, real quick. If you are a patron, if you're a free patron, please consider upgrading to a paid patron. If you're a paid patron, stick around, please. Okay. If you're not a patron, go over, check out the free Patreon, see what there is there, and think about upgrading. I am promising you in 2026, I'm going to focus a great deal more on the Patreon. There's going to be more Patreon exclusive content. There's going to be more Patreon exclusive access, and there's going to be more Patreon exclusive barrel drops. Okay. I have plans to spend more time, to allocate more time to it, because it's so important to me to be able to give you guys the value for what you pay for. I appreciate a great deal, and you guys have said again and again in surveys that the reason that you are paid patrons is one, more access to barrels, access to private content and stuff, but more than that you want to support me and what we are doing here and the Whiskey Bonded family. And that is really important to me. And I know you guys give your hard-earned money, whether it's $6 or $50. I appreciate the crap out of that. And Mrs. Whiskey Bond is printing something. Our special guest on the Whiskey Bonded Patreon live tonight is the printer. Sorry, we're going to wrap it up. You guys, thank you so much. If you guys like this, please put it in the comments. You guys send me an email. If you like to see us cracking and trying stuff, or me cracking and trying stuff, if you want to try it with us, we can start in the future, do a better job of letting you know what I'm going to taste. You guys can taste along with us. We'll try and do that. But you guys head on over to the Patreon, Discord. If you want to chat in the live Discord party, kind of go walk the dog. Mrs. Whiskey Bond is standing there staring at me now. She needs something, so I better go address that. You guys, thanks for being here. You guys, please like, comment, subscribe. If you're not, head over, check out the Patreon. please use bondabottleshop.com. We've already talked about the thumbs up. The thumbs up popping out here. She's putting it in front of the light, so all I see is her thumb sticking out. You guys come back next week, next Wednesday, 6:30 Pacific time. We're going to do this on the regular. If I change the nights, I'll let you know in advance. But you guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate you as always. We'll see you next week. Okay, I can't wait for you guys to see that interview with Dr. Pat. I'm excited about that. Soon.